All right. Hey, everybody. Jonathan Crow, Director of Community at NinjaOne here. And I have with me Tom Goings, another member of our product team, who is amazingly involved in the creation of all the new and great things that are coming your way via NinjaOne updates. And Tom, I mean, I guess the big one, we're talking about 14.0, which has rolled out to a lot of you all who are watching. If you're watching from Europe or from Australia or from Canada, for some reason the Canadians they get the new releases first. They're so nice about it. They're our guinea pigs and they're very kind about it.
It's because they're nice. That's why.
Exactly. They will be kind in their feedback. But 14.0 has been rolling out for the past month or so, and it's finally going to be hitting North America, all the customers in the United States. If you haven't gotten 14.0 yet, tonight's the night. It's going to be rolling out overnight, and you're going to wake up in the morning and have access to a lot of new cool features and capabilities. And in addition to that, there's all sorts of new opportunities of things, entirely new products that you can check out too. It always blows my mind looking at our product team and how big it's grown, how many amazing people we've brought in to help build Ninja. And Tom, you are absolutely one of those folks. Do you want to give people a little bit of background on you?
Sure. I've been with NinjaOne for a year and a half. I started in January of 2025. Yeah, something like that. But it's dog years, so it feels like 13 years already. I've been doing network management, network discovery for over 20 years through various consulting / product management and various other spaces. Got experience in IT asset management and various other things. So now I'm a product manager at NinjaOne.
Awesome.
I like to build cool stuff. That's really what the key is like, I should have just said that. Like, I really just like to build cool stuff for people and keep it simple and make it easy to use.
Well, we appreciate that. That's totally in line with the Ninja way. Definitely lucky to have you here. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about your areas of expertise and what you're specifically focused on. You got brought on you have a ton of experience with networking, and you've been working on NMS and the network discovery aspects of Ninja, which have really been kind of singled out as a really cool area of growth for Ninja to beef up the capabilities. So yeah, tell us a little bit about overall, before we dive into the specifics of what's new here, what you're going to be talking about. Tell us a little bit about your more broadly what you're excited about and your kind of vision for things.
So network discovery, when I came in, was ad hoc. It was one of those things that it was scanning just to find information for network management. Like, that was the entire purpose of network discovery at that point. One of the things that we did initially was, like, my excitement was I got to build the one that is now for everybody. Everybody can use network discovery. So that was a big focus over the last year, making it usable, taking the information we knew from the ad hocs, the legacy one that's now legacy, and making it better for the grand scheme of people and use. And then network management has been fun. We get a lot of feedback that we need to do better. And so having a product that is still kind of in the infancy and being able to build that up and start doing better monitoring, that's really the goal, is to make sure that the monitoring's solid and build that. And then as I continued to delve into the Ninja way, I also got IT asset management and a couple of other products that are more RMM networking focused. Basically the virtual monitoring and the cloud monitors. So I've got IT asset management, virtual monitoring, cloud monitoring, and in network management and network discovery. So yeah, just a few things that keep me busy on my day-to-day. As far as excitement, we've got it out in the dojo, so I don't feel bad about shouting this out. Proxmox is coming. Like, that's one of the things for virtual monitoring that I'm excited about. Network discovery, just releasing the ability to do a Windows deployment and full network discovery with schedules. That's super exciting. Network management, just doubling down on the team's ability to do better monitoring. And then IT asset management actually didn't get the highlight reel for this one, but we do software usage now. So the ability to kind of tag software and software usage. So while I know that the title of this is, Stop Flying Blind, there's all sorts of things that I'm excited about. Like it's just an amazing opportunity to do lots of cool things.
Well, yeah, and more reasons for future streams, right? And for everybody who's joining us now, sorry, I posted a link. We had to do some things with our YouTube channel where we had to kind of anyway. I gave you the right link. Folks are coming in now. So if you missed it, we're talking with Tom Goins. He is a member of the product team here at NinjaOne, and we're going to be talking a lot about the stuff that he's been cooking up. It's funny, the members of the product team are constantly living in the future. You know, Tom's working on stuff that's going to be rolling out in the 15.0 release, 16.
16 actually, yeah. I've 15 is now being tested and 16 is shipped. So I had to go look and what did I do for 14? That is the fun part.
Well, if you are persuasive enough here in the audience, you can maybe see if you can get some previews from Tom. But let's get into the topic of the day. Let's talk about some asset discovery. Stop flying blind. You know, the amount of devices, the amount of basically just stuff on our networks increasing all the time, every day. Within the browser too, the types of things that you can accomplish just within that. You know, that's a whole nother topic where we're talking about browser management that's coming up. But Tom, let's highlight some of the things that are new in 14. And I'm always interested in kind of the rationale behind some of the things that were developed. You know, not just what it does and why it's cool and how to do it, but why did we decide to build this anyway?
So network discovery is something that lots of companies have done. Like if you take a look, this is back in the beginning, and then I say like before, you know, 2008, I was doing network discovery in a large corporation, and we had a product that went and scanned the network and had to find things. And study after study has shown time and again, CTOs know maybe 75%, and that's being generous of the stuff that's on their network. And then when you start looking at it from an IT asset management space, you can't manage what you don't know. And so combining discovery and like IT asset management or even CMDBs, you know, a much broader discussion point, you need to make sure that those things are up to date so that you can manage them. The problem is, and this is just in general, is that, you know, network discoveries as a whole need to expand beyond what they're doing. And so our initial foray into this is, you know, we can go in and scan a network. We can do 4,000 devices. We can do a really basic scan. We didn't want to build something that's been built. We stayed away from things like Nmap, if you're familiar with that, for the reason that Nmap can be very detrimental to an environment and security teams don't like allowing it as a use point. So, you know, we stayed within the bounds of basic TCP, UDP, and then there's also things that's unusual now that wasn't back in 2008, which is like Windows doesn't respond to ping as much as it used to. So you have to go in and you have to adjust and build those things. So when we built this, we came from an idea of it needs to be lightweight, it needs to be fairly fast, and it can find as much as it can. It can be credentialed or credential-less. So just go and scan. Which were some of the changes from what we were doing in the past. Also, the ability to just choose any of your devices. There's no deployment. You don't have to go install. It'll do the automation for you. Really, that's the idea. And again, it comes back to you can't manage what you don't know. I've got stories of Discover over the many decades that I've been doing this. Having found Xboxes and PlayStations, which, you know, for startups, that's not a bad thing. Like that's a good thing to be able to find those things. But there's stories of finding a server that's in a walled off room that nobody knew was running for years because contractors came in, put up a new wall, and nobody knew until they found this thing responding to a discovery.
Whatever you do, just don't touch it. Don't unplug it.
Yeah, you know, how much uptime did that thing have when they finally were able to get into it? Who knows? Definitely had to be running Linux. I can guarantee that it wasn't Windows. Like the reboot options would be horrible. So yeah, the entire thing of why we did this was to scale up to what is needed for your small, medium businesses, enterprises, large MSPs, large IT organizations, just using the years of seeing this and running this in other products in the past. So yeah, like this was fun. Like I didn't come in to Ninja knowing that I would be building like a network discovery tool that would be the future and free to everybody to use, within the core platform. But hey, here you go, and I ran with it. So that was the fun stuff.
Oh man, free is a great word.
We'll say included with the product. Like I don't think we like free. It just it's now part of core. Like everybody can run a
very cool.
discovery, and I think everybody should. This was something that we decided. Like from our standpoint, if everybody can find the information, then that makes everybody more secure. That's a good thing. And it also just helps out from a prospect of being able to view what's going on.
Very cool. So, for folks who are watching this who want to get access, they want to play around with things. How do they do it? Do they have to talk to their account manager? Once 14 is live for the folks in North America, are they going to magically see something available for them? How do they check it out?
Well, here's the fun thing. It's actually been in the system since release 12. We're just talking about it now because we did some updates and we did some things. So it was available, and it is available today. The big thing that 14 came out with is the ability to do Windows deployments. So if you do find Windows devices with Windows credentials, or even if they are discovered as being Windows, you can do a deployment. And I'll do a demo and show you how that works. And I'll show you where to go and find it and all of the fun things that you can do within the tool. The big things that we did in release 12 was scheduling and testing of the schedules. And we found some, as with always, you always find bugs and things. And we didn't talk about it a whole lot. 13 and 14 were then fixes. We needed to make it work like legacy so that you could do the NMS conversion properly without having as much of an issue. You can do all of those fun things that you were used to doing with the old discovery. So we are now at the point where I feel that it is worthy, and a lot of people did, that we make it priority. So yep, not much more that you need to do. You can still do a lot of the same things in 13. It's just better in 14 with the Windows deployment.
All right, cool. Well, let's dive into it. And GPV, I see one of the great things about these streams, right? You can hear it straight from the customers, and you can talk straight to the product manager in terms of what, this is all cool. Here's what would make it even better. I'm going to pull up the demo screen so you can get ready for that. But let's go ahead and address this comment because, like we said, Tom, you're kind of working in the future. This may be something that you're already even working on. So he says, one thing that would be really nice to see is the information fields, serial numbers, make, model, etc. Also make its way into the native fields.
Wonder if something like that might happen. So first, if this is Geef PV from Discord, hi, nice talking to you again. I always like having you around. So, so understood. This is something that we're looking at. I've got an entire ITAM product thing that I'm working on for better deduplication, if you will, and part of that is doing this. So absolutely, you are correct. That is in network management, and yes, we are. You're just hitting me on all the points. So dang it!
He's like,
just hey, show your product board, Geef PV. Like that's what I can do. But the good news is, closed loop is actually going to be coming. We're starting that process for 16. So, like I said at the very beginning, our 15 code has not necessarily shipped, but it is shipped to QA. So we're actually focusing on closed loop for ping initially, and we'll see how many we can do per release for 16 and going from there. So absolutely going to make it so that it will automatically tell you that it's back online.
Casey going for the shortcut, right? Just wishes we would buy Domots that fully integrate. I mean, and then this goes. Let's not get carried away with it, but Ninja's only made one acquisition in its entire history, and that was Dropsuite, and even that was the circumstances had to be extremely right. And there's been times when a lot of us have talked to Sal and others, and we're just like you all, right? We want to see Ninja being able to provide you guys with a lot of capabilities really quickly. Turns out a lot of times buying stuff, Sal will often say, you know, by the time you're done with integrations and the maintenance of it and everything, building and buying, I mean, you don't end up saving a lot of time in a lot of cases. But anyway,
well, and we've got, I talked to many partners or partner organizations out there about integrating and partnering and possibly that. And it is, I have to agree with it because you've got a new product stack. Like I've worked in environments where their products were individual stacks. So think of, like Discover would be its own stack with its own Java, or maybe it's this or that or the other. Maybe it's not JavaScript, maybe it's Go, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And the amount of tech debt that you start incurring when you have multiple products like that becomes almost untenable, and you can't get things out fast. Just as an example, I saw somewhere, and I don't remember it. It was posted by us, so it has to be true. We did like 600 features last year. That's unbelievable. I mean, even if they're small features, 600 features for a product team and a company of this size is unbelievable. Just compare us to I go look back at my old company, and it's like, I don't think they did 100, but who knows? Anyway.
Yeah, there's also integration still very much. I mean, we don't want to go down the path where we're just trying to buy up everything, cobble things together. We want to integrate with the folks who are doing things well. Tom, I think this is a great point. Dive in. Let's dive in. Show off what you're excited about. What's new? I can't help but notice this screen is looking a little different. I'm not blinded. What's going on here?
This is dark mode, right? Like when did that? Like I can show you how to do it. That's pretty cool. Like look, theme. It's still in beta, so there's still some things we need to convert, but just ask for it. The other thing that I wanted to highlight is the fact that I think this is the first time that I've actually made release highlights like this. My features have been smaller, little updates here and there, so I'm pretty excited. My current manager released ITAM. He got one for 12, so that's pretty cool. So first and foremost, let's talk about where you go to set up a network discovery easily. You can go to Device, Network Discovery. This is the old one. That will be going away most likely in 15. We're leaving it around. We can turn it on and off based upon usage, but the goal is to get rid of it because it is now being replaced by full network discovery. This is also flagged for network management system only. So only if you have NMS enabled and those types of things does that actually work, where network discovery is now available for everybody. So the way that it works is you go in, it's very similar. You choose an organization, you choose an office, and then you can get a server that's there. I am going to see if I can find a nice.
While you're doing that too, I'm just gonna let Geef PV know that the reason dark mode is still in beta is that you will occasionally still see some pages that flashbang you because they're still white. We're still working on those, so definitely take advantage of it, use it, but you may get startled from time to time.
So there's a trick for you if you're ever trying to find out like where your delegates are. That's an additional feature. So normally I have them in my favorites, and I picked the enterprise demo environment, not the MSP one that I'm usually in, because I thought this one was a little bit better. So go to Network Discovery. Hold on. But then you got to remember what it is. Yeah. That one's down. The demo gods are not being kind. They are never kind. Let's see. Anyway, I will have to figure that one out. But here is the thing that we added here. You can now preview the NMS delegate IPs as well. Like this is one of those things that's just a little nice to have. When you click that, it'll actually pull up all of the MAC addresses, IP addresses, and ranges for the network, and you can copy and paste them into the IP targets. One of those things this is the stuff that we do as a product manager. We look at how people are using the tool and like, that's painful because now they have to go find it. They have to find the IP, then they have to put the range. So we made it very simple. You then can choose credentials or create credentials. It also says that it's optional. For the Windows, you want to select the Windows if you're going to attempt to try to do the install, and then you just say run discovery. The other big thing here is once you run the discovery, you can then go into and check those discovered devices. And again, that's from the dashboard, devices discovered. Once things are found, so as you can see, we did run all of this information on to the colo, and it was main office. So there is a delegate that was working there at one point. The whole idea here is that we're giving you statuses and the status information, the deployment and the information. So example here, this is a managed device. We found it and now it is there so that you can actually link into and go to that managed device and see the information on it. You can also click on this and actually see the information from the deployment history, from the history of the scan. So the general discovered device details, any extended data that may not be visible within the tool, and then if there was any deployments and the history associated. The other big thing that we were talking about is the ability to take this information and do something with it. Now, obviously, you can select everything and export, right? Or in this instance, you could deploy the Windows agent. If you used a credential during the scan, it will say you can use the existing one or you can choose one. So either way, and you can define the role that you want to use, the Windows role that you want to use in order to do the deploy. If I click this button, it's going to attempt to go to that down delegate. It's going to then attempt to log in with those credentials and actually deploy the agent automatically to that device. So this is straight from, this is hot off the presses. This is release number 14. The other thing is you can, from this, if I choose one of the other devices here, we'll use this one because it shows me it's Cisco. I can convert it to a NMS device. Same thing, use the existing role, or I can choose, do I want to change it to something else? And then the last one is the converting to an unmanaged device. Same thing, you can add the role. Which device, unmanaged device do you want? Is this a peripheral or something that you want to actually manage in a unmanaged way? And so when it comes to IT asset management, an unmanaged device is something that does not have an agent and you're not going to do any configuration. You're just collecting the information on it. You want to know that it exists so that you can push it to your PSA, so that you could possibly push it to billing or create tickets on it in a way that makes sense for the company. So that's the idea behind unmanaged devices. It is a part of the IT asset management suite. So you have to have IT asset management to do unmanaged asset pushes. But again, the goal is you need to know about the device for various reasons that may be in their documentation, ticketing, PSA, or integration with your CMDB, like a push to ServiceNow or something like that. Again, that's the goal. At that point, this is the gist of the tool. Like, it's, again, make it really cool, make it very easy, and make it simple to use. I'm going to go into a couple of more screens. Is there any questions or anything that's popped up?
Yeah, I think it's a good prompt. I'm curious for folks who have been just trying this out with some of the new things that Tom's been pointing out, the streamlined looks and everything. And then also just historically, folks who are using NMS or some of the older versions of things and have been involved in the feedback of all this. What are your experiences like? I think GPV, you've been sharing your future asks, which is great. Certainly we can have more time for that. But yeah, curious. I'm kind of doing a little tap dancing here. If anyone has any questions, now is your time. You've got Tom held captive. And yeah, we got one. GPV just said, not really a question, more of just kind of like maybe a potential bug or something. We'll see.
I've noticed weird issues when I choose.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So this comes down to how we have to as I stated earlier, we're looking at ways to do better deduplication. Discovered devices is meant to be more than just network devices or things that have been found on the network. We can do, this is also the landing page for Intune discovered devices. It'll be the landing page for additional integrations that we're looking at from a compute standpoint. So as an example, currently in development, I don't think it met 15, it may have, is Chromebooks. So the idea of doing Chromebook integration using API, same thing with Intune. So discovered devices will be there, but then you have to deduplicate all of that information and manage it with our managed devices and our unmanaged devices. So that's a very convoluted process. We are working on that, and that is hopefully coming in 16. But because of the size, it may slip till 17. I'm not going to lie. That's a big, big ask, and I'm the one running it. So I can tell you that there. And I just wanted to show you the discovered job here. This is where you would go in preview. You can select, and it shows you the network interface, the IP address, and the network. But because the device is down, I can't actually, it pulls it live. So it's not a historical information. So I did want to show you that. But that also takes me to the next thing, which is where do you go and find this information about the discoveries and what's running and how is it running? You go to Devices Discovery underneath the Administration console, and you have your saved jobs. Here you can run, edit, clone, disable, or delete. I wanted to also make sure that you had all of those functional there that was available, so that if you want to create this as a secondary clone, but then maybe change the delegate or maybe change various other information, it's very quick and easy to pull that. Obviously, this is just one step. Again, two different ways of doing it, either the checkbox or that. There is also a functionality here that I like to call out, the fact that if the user that created the scheduled job is no longer with the company and is deleted, the job will go into a disabled state, and you can then take ownership of and then re-enable it. So that's the idea there. So we're not going to just let things run without an owner. And we show you, of course, the next run time here. Another thing that is added to the releases that we wanted to do, I wanted to make sure to give you the job history. And so you can go in and see what is ran and when. So if I click on any of these, it can show you the settings that was used. You can also see the scan results, what was found on each of those IP addresses, all of the 254, what credential was used. Was there a ping? -1 just means it didn't get a response back, and so on. And then the other thing that you can do here, and this is the other one that we wanted to be able to do, is to run from this view. So just run it again from that. If it is ad hoc, so this one shows that it was an ad hoc scan that was just ran, I can go in and view it, all the IP targets. I can click on it and show you the general status. Where was it ran? What was the delegate? Any scan results. So again, pretty decent information. But here's the other one. I can save that. So even if I run an ad hoc job and I don't save it, I can actually go in and do it at another point in time. So again, trying to keep things as simple for you as possible. As far as scheduling, we have all of the standard scheduling features that you would want. So we're going to come in here, edit with the pop out. We have hourly, daily, weekly, monthly. You have recurrences, you have start dates, and then end times. Do you ever want it to end, or do you want it to end after 3 or 4 occurrences? So maybe this is something that you want to do every day for 2 weeks, just to get an idea of what's going on. And that is it. Again, keeping it very, very straightforward, very simple in the way that it's used. And to go out there, a couple of caveats or points of interest. Our current max range is 4,094 IP addresses, basically a /20 there. It's not basically, it is a /20. Yeah, that's it. Like, I wish I had more to talk about the product, but again, because it's the Ninja way of keeping it simple, I don't have a whole lot of whiz-bang features to turn on and off within the process, which is a good thing. Just works.
And Tom, thank you for going through all this. And while folks have a chance to ask any questions, which anything that Tom just went over, any questions overall? There were a few things that came up. Pterodactyl. I love the name, and I see that you got the Bruins logo. I'm based up in Maine, so not so much a hockey fan, but Celtics all the way. Anyway, he's saying I have to apologize. He got flashbanged, so his eyes are hurting. You can send your claim to the NinjaOne lawyers on that one. But how often do you guys do streams? We like Robin in the background answered. We typically will stream twice a month, but when it's based around the big new releases, what we'll do is go into depth on certain new product areas or product areas with new functionality and new features. And so this is an example of one of those. We're also going to be streaming tomorrow at noon Eastern with Dan Myers, the product manager who's in charge of backup, and he'll be sharing some things both with endpoint backup, server backup, and then also SaaS backup as well. Some updates there. And so, and then next week, we're actually going to be having Luke Whitelock on to talk about some updates to custom fields. Some really cool stuff around on that makes the automation, the whole engine behind Ninja, even more customizable, even more extensive what you can do there. So that's super cool. And that's going to be next. Robin, you'll have to correct me. I think it's either next Wednesday or Thursday. We'll get you a date. But you can always go here on YouTube where you're watching. Just go over to the live toggle there, and you'll see a list of some of our upcoming streams. You can see the past ones too. The recordings are always up there. You can subscribe. You can also join the Discord. Tom mentioned this before. He's active there. A lot of our product managers are. We're active there. It's such an amazing community. We've got great folks who are here in the comments. One of my favorite things about it is we have a lot of awesome NinjaOne power users who are super active there, happy to answer questions, share their own experiences, their own use cases. And it's a great place to get direct in touch with Ninja. If you're having any kind of support issues, of course, you want to submit a ticket, talk to your account manager, but it's another aspect. If you feel like you want to get some more eyeballs on it, you can feel free to ping the community team. You can ping me, and we'll help you out there. And then it's also where, speaking of upcoming stuff that we're working on, betas, even some really early design feedback things. We have some private channels there where you can talk to your account manager about getting access to that stuff and get involved in the making of new Ninja capabilities. Because as always, as Tom really put it well, we want to build in ways where, we look at other things that you need. We want to help you consolidate, but we don't want to just recreate things for the sake of recreating it. We want to look at really what your jobs to be done are, the actual needs. What can we build that's going to give you a way to accomplish all that in a very streamlined, user-friendly way? The simpler, the better.
I actually answer DMs on Discord as well. So, it's one of those things that
I wasn't going to say that for you. I was going to let you can say that.
I'm going to say it like I love customer feedback. I think you have to in order to be in product management. I don't know any product managers that doesn't like it. It's fun to take all of the different ideas and variations and put it together in a package, and then combining it with all of the questions that come from sales and SEs and marketing and so you get all of this range of information, and then my just history of doing it as well, and trying to make it something that just works really simple. So it's a lot of fun. I will say that for release 15, a couple of big features that we're coming up with for network management, and I know Geef PV had to leave, but the big one is changing the delegate. That was a big feature request, was the ability to move from one to the other for network management. And we're also going to be adding some credential monitoring visibility to those network management devices. So starting from 15 on is going to be really focused on network management. We've got some network discovery things that are working on, one of which is notify when new devices are found. So have an activity that notifies you on channel if you want to say, hey, new devices, first found date, what do you want to do with it? So that way you don't have to monitor your network discoveries. You can actually do that. Schedule jobs in bulk. That's one of those things that we're kind of weighing. And the problem we have there is a couple of things with organizations. So it becomes very, very difficult because you don't want to go cross organizations because the delegates really can't. So I do understand the request. We'll see where we can get with that.
Cool. Yeah, and this will be last call for any other questions while we've got Tom held captive here. But yeah, I mean, just another call. I'm like a broken record, but join the Discord. You can see there's an NMS channel specifically. Get involved with the building of where this is going. It's how we want to do it. Tom is all ears, so great chance to do that. We want to hear from you and what's working, what's not, what you want to see. In addition to upcoming things, as Robin, thank you, called out next Thursday. So tomorrow is going to be at noon Eastern, is going to be all updates that are rolling out in 14 revolving backup. So we'll deep dive on that. And then we'll be streaming next Thursday, July 30th, to talk about the updates to custom fields. So some really cool stuff you can do there. And then likewise too, I mean, if there's other types of streams that you want to hear from, we've got a schedule that will be, that we'll keep updated in Discord, but also on YouTube. If there's specific things you want to see, let us know. We want to connect you guys with the right folks and the right topics and everything. All right, George, thanks for being here, George. You got another question. Anything on the roadmap to automatically push a script to the delegate when assigning?
Explain that one. I think I'm understanding, like you're saying I choose a delegate and then you want a script to go down to the delegate. I mean, you could theoretically, any new device that comes in as an NMS delegate have a group that then has a script pushed to it. I mean, if that's kind of what you're thinking, or is there something specific that you'd like to talk about there, Georgia?
And then also, while we're waiting for more context there, product board. So this is basically the way that, light power settings, he's saying.
So yeah, I think the best way to do that, and this is where my lack of, like, I've been so focused on NMS and network discovery, but I'm pretty sure I showed you how to do a search for NMS delegates, and you could say has been found, and then you would run a script against it that way. I think would possibly work.
And Robert showing up at the end. Quick, Robert, any questions about network discovery? This is interesting. So Peter, I'm not sure either. It's something that I don't know if you have parts of your MSP who are based in the US. Something to talk to your account manager about. There's got to be a history there. There has to be a reason. But yeah, I'd be curious about that one too. And just for folks that we could probably drop them in if you're really interested. But we do, if you search in the dojo, this is all kind of mapped out. If you're curious, what region am I in? You can see the trick there is to see in the URL of sign into Ninja. You'll get some clues there. I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but we've got that written out in Discord and also the dojo too. All right, last call, Robert. You showed up. Do you have any questions, requests, concerns?
Questions, comments, complaints.
Robert is one of the amazing members of the Discord who is active nonstop. Just an incredible wealth of knowledge of using Ninja, and super appreciative of him. Okay. So he says none yet. To come.
Didn't we meet him and wasn't he at MSP Geek? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's at MSP Geek. And thank you
for he does.
Okay. Well, while he does, speaking of in-person events, so these things, we covered this. We're definitely around the major releases too. There's some upcoming webinars that are going to give a look more holistically of what's new in 14. I believe there's one scheduled for more of our European friends, like more European friendly timing. It's already scheduled. If you go to NinjaOne and look for the events page, you'll see that. And then there's going to be a North American one too. But in addition to all the virtual stuff, we're putting on our own conference. This is what the MSP world needs, is more conferences, right? But we're going to have our own conference based in Austin. That's where headquarters is. It's going to be October 27th to 29th. We're calling it MSP Next. This is a conference specifically focused on the MSP world. The internal IT folks who are watching, we may or may not have some things coming up for you too. Certainly some road shows, maybe something bigger planned too. And at any rate, it's going to be 2 full days of not just Ninja specific content, but we're pulling in some external folks who are really knowledgeable around all sorts of things from the technical side. We have Kelvin Teglar from CyberDrain, the folks behind SIP, who are going to be talking about managing M365 at scale, to the business growing side of things. And so we've got folks who are going to be talking about launching AI consultative services, doing more compliance work, things like that. All right, Robert, you said you asked in Discord too. We can probably take it up there if you can't find it. But just want to give you a heads up. I'll put a link into the description here on YouTube. If you're interested in learning more, we're going to have the full agenda up, I believe, next week. And so you can check it out. If you need any help in convincing leadership that, hey, this is a great conference worth going to, let us know. We're going to have some more resources to help you do that. And if you're really want to come and you're having some trouble finding the resources to do so, also let me know. We want to get as many folks there as possible. And so maybe we can work something out with you for free or discounted passes. Definitely want to make sure that that's not the stumbling block for getting people there. All right, Robert, I don't know. I think we're going to have to follow up on Discord. Tom's going to turn into a pumpkin or something. Well, Tom, thank you so much for taking time to walk through this. Likewise, everybody, if you came in late, just refresh the page. The recording will be up here on YouTube. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out via your account manager, via jumping in Discord, via the comments here on the YouTube recording, and we'll get back to you. But thanks, everybody, for joining. Make sure to check us out tomorrow and next Thursday to hear more about what's new in 14.0. And in the meantime, take care. Happy Wednesday.
I'm honored, Pterodactyl. That's awesome. It was his first one. He said it was amazing. So.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you joined too. And great to have you here. Don't be shy with questions. Tom is a great representative of the product team. They're all very eager to interact and engage.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. It didn't show, Robert. I didn't see the one you linked. But ping me on NMS and I'll answer it. I thought I've answered all of the ones recently, so be more than happy to answer anything you got.
All right, and Pterodactyl, we'll hang out at we'll get some good grub sometime. That would be cool.
Everybody,
all right, everybody. So thank you all. Take care. Have a good one.